Music is motivation.
Music is inspirational.
Music is awesome.
Music is my passion.
Music is transcendent.
My name is Infinite. I'm a senior at Somerville High. I was born and raised in Lawrence. Music is my life. Music is my soul.
Very superstitious. Writings on the wall.
Music is a world within itself. It's a language we all understand. Stevie Wonder. Music gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. Plato. Music is success, failure, happiness, anxiety, restlessness, and experiences of life expressed not merely to pass on information, but to create a gateway for emotional transference to occur. Music in some way, shape, or form, indirectly or directly, has impacted all of our lives at some point. Even history has been influenced and recorded through literature, art, and music. But the question I set out to answer is how society on a grand to a local level has been affected by music. Mr. Q's unique knowledge on history, as well as his personal experience with music, prompted me to hold a conversation with him about it.
Some issue I've dealt with or some lesson I learned. Oh, that's pretty tough. There's, like when we talk about trigger songs, I would say I have to go back or think about like Prince's Sign of the Times. That one was kind of like in the late '80s, and the stuff that he talked about was very visceral because he's talking about AIDS, he's talking about the crack epidemic, he's talking about the space shuttle Challenger blowing up, and those are things that I truly remember. That song kind of encapsulated that time period, and I talked to the kids about what it was like growing up in the Bronx and during the crack epidemic and finding empty crack vials, at least 10 a day, just walking to and from school. Found some vials that still had crack in it. It was just that pervasive. It was in the sidewalks, like in between the cracks of the sidewalks. It was in stairwells. It was, it was cheap, so people would do things. Just selling something for cheap will be enough to get you some crack. And he was in a very somber song talking about that. But I know that song is very of its time.
Music is able to provoke memories and emotions of a certain time period, ultimately encapsulating the emotions and message of an artist. And when an artist's inspiration is a subject as impactful as the crack epidemic, it brings to light the struggle of a group that is unable to have a public voice on their own.
People were like losing their minds, and I was like, that's great because you're reacting to the music, and the music is reacting to history, and then the music becomes history. And I think that people forget that. Like even on a small level, like music is history. Certain communities that have always been reacting to society, sometimes protesting, that you don't even think about. Like rap has always had protest songs. Just within that last year with Alicia Keys and the Beyonce album, like both of those are protest albums.
I couldn't have said it any better. Music is history. Reactionary music has always been an integral part of societal progression. If our discrepancies aren't vocalized, then how may things change? Mr. Q brought up a great point when he introduced the concept of protest albums. Starting from the Beatles with Revolution to Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly, and everything in between with artists like Nina Simone.
My skin is black. My arms are long. My hair is woolly.
I wanted to see an artist's point of view on this topic.
What do I do for a living? Right now, I work over at the Institute of Contemporary Art. I run some media programs over there, teaching high school students how to make their own films, DJ, music production, photography, occasionally do some slam poetry stuff, contract work. And then other than that, it's mostly hipstery. and just doing hipstery films. We're on tour right now, taking the film to a bunch of different schools across the East Coast. And then we're going on tour this summer with the music stuff. So and y'all hear more about that later.
That everything that we do has some type of relationship to hip hop.
I'm trying to use hip hop and use different avenues to create awareness about different things. So social stigma or challenging the social norms.
Thinking about who was that voice of hip hop, and it was always coming from marginalized voices and marginalized stories, and that's what we like to highlight, being black directors and filmmakers.
I wanted to know his experience with music and his advice for anyone else that wanted to venture in this field.
We dealt with a lot of failure. A lot of stuff didn't hit. A lot of stuff wasn't a hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that it's not worth it. That doesn't mean it's gonna do something. So I would say just keep going with it. Keep pushing. Keep failing, and keep growing. Music is and always has been like this tool that we could use to talk about things and share some messages that you wouldn't necessarily just say to someone straight up. Like, I got this song called Racist. Like, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily just go up and say, you couldn't be a racist, your best friend's black, not your best friend, homie, how about that? I wouldn't necessarily say that out loud, but when you put it on a beat and then you rap in a verse to back it up, it's like way different, and you're able to touch people. And now I'm getting white people to yell that out at shows, and I'm like, wow, do y'all know what y'all saying? This is crazy.
That's right.
All walks of life are influenced by music, even if flows of money aren't pouring into their banks and they don't have worldwide recognition. Music can simply be a tool used to get through the day. Music is, well, ever-changing, but one constant is that the power is in your hands. So embrace it.
And my back is strong, strong enough to take all the pain that's been inflicted